Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. It's Friday evening URC action. It's 1 versus 2. It's Leinster up against the Bulls. It's a titanic clash in the URC Rugby Championship. And I'm excited to take you all through that on this Friday evening kickoff. Just about underway at 9:35 South African Standard Time. Please do, if you get an opportunity, share this link with your friends and family. Hit the like, subscribe to Forever Sports, and let's go on this rugby adventure together. Is this perhaps the precursor for the Irish series? Come July this year, Ireland, of course, coming here to South Africa with unfinished business after their early exit in the quarterfinals of the Rugby World Cup last year. South Africa, of course, going on to become four-time world champions, and it's 1 versus 2, as I mentioned. Leinster, one of the most informed teams, most consistent teams in the URC, and are touted as perhaps one of the best club sides, provincial sides, if you would call it, in South Africa, around the world. It's the Bulls, it's Jake White and his men, and if we look at the teams, it's going to be a titanic clash because all the big stars are back on both sides. Of course, Leinster, from the last time the Bulls managed to pull off an upset in that semi-final 2 years ago by 27 points to 26, have added the likes of Jacques Nienaber, the Springbok World Cup winning coach. So defensively, no doubt he's one of the gurus, if you could call it, of South African rugby. He's going to give Leinster a massive boost, should I say. But no doubt Jake White, albeit he's won a Rugby World Cup himself back in 2007 with the Springboks, has not lost any traction when it comes to passion for coaching. He loves this team and he loves to win as well, of course. So he's going to give it everything he has. Just a shout out to everybody tuned in around South Africa and around the world. This is going to be a big clash. I want to take you through the starting 23 of each side, starting with the home side here at the RDS Arena in Dublin, and that's Leinster from 1 to 23. We've got Healy, Kelleher, Alatoa, Maloney, McCarthy, Bird, Van der Fleer, and Jack Conan to make up the forwards. From 9 to 15, McGrath, Byrne, Lowe, Osborne, Henshaw, Russell, and Lama at 15. 16 to 23, Sheehan, Milne, Furlong, Jenkins, Doris, Gibson, Park, Byrne, and Turner to make up the replacement bench. It's going to be interesting to see on both sides, of course, how the benches utilize the finishers, where they will come on the field based on the attrition rate, of course, in this high-intensity, high-tempo game. The Bulls from 1 to 23, Steenkamp, Van der Merwe, Lowe for Mark Nokia, Van Staden, Lowe, and Coetzee at number 8. 9 to 15, Papier, Goosen, Williams, Creel, Moody, Arendse, and Willie Leroux at fullback. 16 to 23, Grobler, Matanzima, Smith, Ludwig, Gumede, Berger, Smith, and Forster at 23. So that's the starting 23 of each side. As I mentioned, from 1 to 23 on both sides, they've been stacked up with internationals, and this Leinster side, of course, perhaps the most consistent side, arguably, in the URC at home, with a 90 to 95% win rate. So it's going to be a very, very difficult task for the Bulls, but one I believe they are up for, with Jake White and the management preparing his side very well for this clash. Of course, we're going to take a look at the conditions, just having a sneak peek. Overhead, underfoot, it looks good. Usually we find ourselves in rainy, windy weather, but here in Ireland, it seems to be holding up for the moment, which makes for quite an attractive game, perhaps, where the sides can display their full set of skills. Across the board, it's just about a test match, albeit a URC match, but it's week 13 and the Bulls come running onto the field. The away side, of course, this their last away game before they head back to South Africa. Leinster, of course, have to still travel to South Africa, play the likes of the Lions and the Stormers. So wouldn't it be wonderful for a South African team like the Bulls in red hot form at second on the log to put a dent in their hopes? Leinster, of course, right at the top of the table, but do give your score predictions in the comments section. Who, of course, you're supporting. You might not be a Bull supporter tonight, but nonetheless, if you're a South African, we want to see South Africa just have that little edge over this Leinster team, who provided, it must be said, no less than 19 players in the recent conclusion of the Six Nations that Ireland went on to win. So this Leinster side, just about the Irish international team, barring one or two players. It's going to be Johan Goosen who will get this game underway from left to right. And in case you missed it, Craig Evans is the man in charge this evening, who will be dictating play with a whistle. And you can see the focus, perhaps a little bit of anxiety on the face of the Bulls. Slight underdogs, but we are underway here in week 13 of URC. The Bulls get us underway from left to right via the boot of Johan Goosen, who opts to go down centre field, and Leinster do get possession back. Leinster, of course, in blue, navy blue, and the Bulls in their shade of light blue and white kit this evening. As Leinster return a kick downfield, well covered by Willie Leroux. It's Kanan Moody who's there to support him and get the offload as the Bulls set up another ruck here, work their way up to halfway, about 10 metres in from this right-hand touchline. No doubt Jake White said in the week that they want to start like a house on fire and put this Leinster team under pressure. You can't afford to go behind, as Ambrose Papier shapes with a kick. It's gone up, it's contested, but it's knocked on in the air by a Leinster player, and the referee, Craig Evans, on the spot there to give the Bulls the feed to the scrum there. Devin Williams did well to get up, but there was a slight fumble there from the Leinster fullback. So an opportunity here at set piece for the Bulls. This is always the place, the engine room where everything starts, and no doubt the Bulls will look to get some sort of ascendancy in the scrum. They've got to function efficiently at line-out time. They've got to function efficiently at scrum time, and they've also got to rely on individual brilliance if you're going to pull one off here away from home at the RDS Arena. But the Bulls are capable, showing themselves second on the log, and there's a reason for that. They've just been on a good winning streak. Last week, of course, doing away with the Dragons. Equally so, though, Leinster doing away with Zebra quite comfortably. But the scrum has just reset for the moment. We're about 5 metres in from this right-hand touchline, just inside the Leinster half. And I'll be interested to know what your score prediction is for this game here in week 13 on this Good Friday if you're in South Africa. And there's still a lot of rugby to come this weekend here on Forever Rugby and Forever Sports. This is a real battle to kick us off for the weekend. As the scrum is reset, the Bulls will get the feed via Ambrose Papier. We're about 10 metres, should I say, from this right-hand touchline, and immediately the referee gives a penalty to the Bulls there. Advantage to the Bulls, the referee saying it was on the tight head side there, just buckling under the pressure. And a feather there in the cap of this pack of forwards of the Bulls, not taking this one lying down, and immediately go on the attack with a kick into touch via Johan Goosen as they work themselves deep into the territory of Leinster, right up to the 22, or just inside the 22 in fact, with the feed via Akker van der Merwe. as the Bulls via Nokia look to maul it up. Aka van der Merwe has the ball at the back here. Are we going to see a rumbling maul? No, Aka van der Merwe looks to break away. Papier at the base now. It's quick ball for the Bulls. It's Marcel Coetzee who takes it up. Van Staden breaks away from one. He's not held. Just about went again, but the Bulls here hot on the attack via Ulrich Lowe. Papier, it's quick ball. It's Steenkamp. Hits a nice angle there. The loose head prop, the Bulls only about 15 meters out now. Goosen just can't find his range on the kick. Looking out wide for Kurt Lee Orense. Intercepted by Leinster player from the air, plucked out of the air, kicked upfield. And the Bulls find themselves now deep inside their own half. But Goosen is back to cover. Almost making a meal out of it there, Johan Goosen. Dumming with the kick, but he's brought to ground by two defenders. The Bulls have lost all about 70 meters now as Ambrose Papier looks to shape with the kick. It's gone high into the sky, but it's a wonderful take there. As Leinster look to break away now, but big defence in midfield, but they're over halfway, Leinster. Byrne looks to feed it out wide. It's gone forward, says the referee there. It's going to be a put-in to the Bulls. All frenetic stuff for the moment. But the fly-off there, Harry Byrne just not able to keep the pass in range. It's floated slightly forward. It's going to be a put-in to the Bulls at scrum time. Still at 0-0. But you can feel the intensities there from both sides. The Bulls, unfortunately, perhaps just a little bit hasty in the 22 of Leinster there. Johan Goosen just not finding his man out wide. Perhaps they could have set up one or two phases more. But you can see the intent is there from the Bulls to attack and put this team under pressure, the home side, as we set up another scrum for the Bulls. Another set piece opportunity. We're just about on halfway. Inside the half of Leinster we go now as the Bulls look to rumble on and put some massive pressure here. It's a huge scrum from the Bulls. It's advantage, says the referee. And Ambrose Papier looks to break away as the Bulls going to secure the ball. Still playing under advantage, Ulrich Lowe. We know he's going to man up physically. No advantage. The ball there just ripped out of his hands. But the referee, Craig Evans, is going to come back. And some early positive signs for Jake White and his men with the scrum domination there. Not walking around the corner, going straight through. And this Leinster side are going to have a lot to deal with if that's what we're in for. Great scrum from the Bulls. It's a penalty. And the first opportunity now for Johan Goosen to put points on the board as he's opted to go for posts with a potential 3. We're just inside the Leinster half. Distance should just about not be a problem. It's the direction we're looking for here as we see the Leinster captain there just looking for clarification from the referee. But it was plain for all to see there. That was a scrum domination there. They won the first penalty at scrum time, and they got another penalty, which could turn into a potential 3 as Johan Goosen shapes to kick now. All about 45 meters, slightly off center. Goosen! It's over! The Bulls go into the lead by 3 points to 0, just under 10 minutes gone. It never looked like missing. As Bophelo Moketsi says, come on, Bulls. Been waiting for this game. Finally, it's here. Yes, my brother, thank you for tuning in. It's here, it's well underway. The Bulls lead by 3-0. Rian Snyman says Leinster 22, Bulls 17. As a South African rugby supporter, I don't want to agree with you just yet, but I appreciate the comment there, Rian. Very tight affair. Your scoreline would suggest as Papier receives the ball from the base, shapes to kick, finds grass inside the field of play. And the Bulls relieve some pressure from that restart. We're perhaps not in for a high-scoring affair. As I mentioned early on, in case you missed it, this perhaps the real precursor for the Irish series. Both sides, with all the internationals, have a point to prove. Wonderful take from Willie Leroux up in the air there. Managing to secure the ball there, the Bulls. Leinster trying to get all over that at ruck time, but Papier manages to scratch it out with his feet. And immediately the Bulls look to play from deep here. Kainan Moody. He's away, but he can't find the pass. Just didn't look up at the last moment. Some enterprising, dangerous play, you could call it, from the Bulls inside their 22. Willie Leroux couldn't take the mark. It was caught just outside the 22. The Bulls managed to secure possession, but at the last moment, not looking for an exit there, trying to free up Kainan Moody, but unfortunately just delivered a 50-50 pass which went into touch on this right-hand touchline. We're on the 22, but Leinster have thrown it to Aka van der Merwe, but he's lost it in the process. It's all happening here at the RDS Arena. Leinster back in possession. Their set pieces up to this point have been a little bit iffy, it must be said, but the Bulls not capitalising on that mistake there, and Leinster via McGraw feeds up one of his tight forwards now, Byrne. They're looking to come out wide here. It's Lama Tolo, the Irish international. Surely that's gone forward. There's a fumble. The referee says yes, the Bulls will breathe a sigh of relief for the moment. It's going to be a scrum down to the Bulls here. We're 10 metres or 5 metres from this left-hand touchline now, as Leinster were playing from right to left. Good news for the Bulls there if Leinster can't be efficient in their set pieces. We know they like their structure. As we take a look at Theophilus Bauer says Bulls by 15. Yes, that's the spirit on this Friday evening. Still up by 3-0, the Bulls here away from home, as Leo Cullen looks on in eager anticipation, perhaps not happy with the set pieces up to this point, but another scrum penalty to the Bulls. And surely now that must give this backer forwards a boost, a massive boost in confidence. The referee even going over and having a conversation with the scrum half and with Jack Conan, saying no more of this. That's 3 in a row. And the Bulls, their tails will be up for the moment as they can exit via Willie Leroux just about inside the Leinster half on this left-hand touchline with the feed to the line out to come. But some big pressure being put on here on this Leinster side for the Bulls. Ticking the boxes up to now. They just want to keep their composure with ball in hand as it's off the top. Papier feeds Marcel Coetzee, who looks to wriggle his way through. And it's another penalty here. It's on halfway. The momentum pendulum has swung in favour of the Bulls for the moment. They've just got to turn that pressure into points. We saw the early penalty go over from Johan Goosen. Is this within range? He says he's going to have a shot. And that's what you want to do, perhaps, is build that early scoreboard pressure and force Leinster to play from behind. You don't want them to get in front. No doubt the Bulls have a clear plan here. And up to this point now, we're just about 15 minutes in, have been the more efficient team, should I say. Good news if you're a South African rugby supporter. This will be definitely at the limit of his range here for Johan Goosen as he shapes to kick. Doesn't take too much time. It's centre. It's got the legs. It's sailing. It's over. Johan Goosen with a smile. But again, his second kick at goal never looked like missing. Didn't even bother to take his time. There was still about 20 seconds left on the shot clock, but the Bulls up by 6 points to 0 here. As Leinster restart deep into the 22, it's taken in by Elrich Rowe, who sets up the ruck here. We're still inside the 22. Papier's got the safety of the touchline. Does he have the angle? It's gone straight up. And away with it come Leinster. In possession up to the 10-metre mark of the Bulls. Playing from right to left. McGrath to Byrne. They're looking to shift it wide now. It's Lama again who joins the line, the fullback. Jordan Lama. He's brought to ground. Leinster also looking to speed it up, but they've gone back a few metres. Some stern defence from the Bulls up to now. They can't seem to find space as they look to shift it towards this right-hand touchline. The Bulls, resolute on defence, but still in possession of Leinster. We know that they can keep the ball. As the scrum off, McGrath shapes to kick. Not having too much success, should I say. Shifting the ball, so tried the 50-50 kick, but the Bulls back in possession here. A slight fumble there, and it's going to be a scrum down to Leinster, according to the referee. But they've been under some huge pressure, not something they're perhaps looking forward to as they try and rally their troops. The home side just knocked on there. Gerard Steenekamp taking it off Ambrose Papier. Looked up for a minute. And a slight fumble. It's knocked forward. And that, as a result, will give us the scrum to come. Orchid Gravenstein says, go Bulls, build scoreboard pressure. That's exactly that, my brother. We're closing in on this first quarter. The Bulls up by 2 penalties, 6 points to 0 as they pack down for another scrum here. Between the 10-metre mark and 22. 15 metres in from this right-hand touchline as they look to play blind. The Bulls up to it. Devin Williams in there. Ruan Nokia in there. It was a gang tackle and the Bulls mean business. The Bulls will have the feet to the line out. They tried to play down this blind side. McGrath trying to break quickly. Trying to feed his right winger. Russell, but the Bulls' defence on point, forcing him into touch as they win the line out. Set piece up to now has been good for the Bulls as they look to rumble on with the driving maul. Aka van der Merwe to Ambrose Papier, who shapes for a high contestable kick. We're yet to see the likes of a Kane and Moody get into the game, but now Leinster come breaking away. It's Lama, the fullback. Is there an opportunity? Yes, there is. Surely now. Just like that from broken play. It's a try to Leinster. And that is the reason they top of the table. because they can break you open in an instant. And it's Josh van der Flier who goes over for the try. But all the work was done there from the fullback Jordan Lama. Picked up the loose ball. Little step off his left foot. Jack Conan involved, who fed Lama, and then from there the support. Running was excellent, and Josh van der Flier goes over, and the conversion should all but be a formality. It's under the sticks, it's sailing, it's over, and Leinster for all their misfiring are in the lead by 7 points to 6 as we look forward to the second quarter of this titanic clash in week 13 of the URC. The Bulls restart and immediately put into touch on this 10-meter mark on this left-hand touchline. The Bulls will have the feed to the line out in Leinster territory. Up to now, the line-out's been functioning good. The Bulls a bit stunned there for the moment. It was somewhat broken play. But Aka van der Merwe will feed as Papier gets it off the top again. Goosen to Van Staden, who looks to make some post-contact meters, but is well met on defence as Papier goes up again. It's another 50-50. It's James Lowe, the experienced Irish winger, who's safe under the high ball, and Leinster go driving ahead via Jack Conan. McGrath to Burn. It's a bit of a kicking duel as he puts it high into the air. Big defence there on Russell. Knock on there. Off the 9, McGrath fed. Here's Hooker. Kelleher, he just couldn't hold on to it. So it's going to be another Bull scrum there. But you can see Leinster picking up the pace just a little bit here. They've had a little bit more possession. Time off for the moment on the clock. Some attention to Marco van Staden there. For Jake White and the management, I'm sure they'll be hoping that he can continue. But what a breakaway try, it must be said, as Jordan Lama wriggled his way, found the support, and it was Josh van der Flier who just about ran into the upright, putting that ball down, avoiding any injury, but going all in, putting his body on the line and putting Leinster with that conversion in the lead by 7 points to 6. As we see a replacement here, it's Impilo Gumede who's going to be coming on, and Marco van Staden looks a little bit worse for wear, taking the ball up early on in contact. But that perhaps could be the last we see of him. The excitement nonetheless for Gumede to come on and make an impact, but no doubt a big loss for the Bulls there in the World Cup winner Marco van Staden. For all intents and purposes, looks like a knee injury, so this could be a permanent replacement as the game gets underway. We're 10 meters in, on halfway from this right-hand touchline via Ambrose Papier. Gumede has switched to number 8, which means Marcel Coetzee takes up the open side position. Will we see Gumede shine on as he has in the URC this season as the Bulls put it up high into the air? It's contestable, but it's going to be a scrum down. It was knocked on, says Craig Evans, the referee. Curtly Lawrence are getting up there. Jordan Lama just not able to hold on to it. And that 50-50 kick has resulted in the Bulls making some territorial gain now inside the half of Leinster. Between the 10-meter mark and the 22. Just off centre field. The Bulls scrum been solid up to now. The last scrum as well. Looks like they're gaining traction here. Leinster, of course, won't back down. But the Bulls on the ascendancy here with the scrum via Ambrose Papier. As the referee calls a reset there. One has to give a testament to the Bull scrum as well, with the likes of Wilco Lowe coming back this season. What a revelation he's been. No doubt he'll be in the conversation when the international season kicks off. But the home crowd for the moment, not perhaps as cheerful as they were. They can see things unfolding here. And it's the away side who are putting some massive pressure on the home team at scrum time. Ambrose Papier as play gets underway again. This time around, it's Leinster who get the scrum. And all of a sudden a change in fortunes at scrum time. Ala Toa there having a lot to say. The Bulls shaking their head. But the referee on the spot, they've had it all their way up to now. But Leinster get the scrum penalty. The Bulls perhaps not looking as synchronized there. The score still at 7 points to 6 in favour of the home team. A slight, slender lead. A lot can still happen in this game. We have the second half to look forward to as James Lowe looks to take it off. The inside shoulder. And Leinster come attacking again. Byrne looks to put it into the corner. And does so though with distinction. We're only about 6 meters out on this right-hand touchline from the Bulls' try line, and just like that, that scrum penalty, the resulting line out, and then the kick into space has put Leinster right into the danger zone. The Bulls, of course, are going to have to look for an exit strategy here as Aka van der Merwe looks to feed. They've called for a shortened four-man line out here. Will there be a contest from Leinster? The Bulls under some massive pressure after starting so well early on with those two penalties from Johan Goosen. The Bulls do get it. It's Papier who finds a gap and hoofs it upfield. The ball still in play as Leinster look to come running back. They work themselves into the half of the Bulls, almost up to the 10-meter mark. Bird being allowed to run free there, but the Bulls eventually bringing the attacking player down. Leinster still in possession, building phase after phase. Can they stretch this Bulls defence? It's a wonderful interception read there. It's Billy LaRue who comes away with it. But they're going to come back there. Skewed off the side of the boot of Billy LaRue. But almost into the hands of David Creel there. Who just couldn't hold on to it at the last moment. But a very good read from the inside centre nonetheless. To thwart that attack. It's going to come back for that knock on there. David Creel just not able to hold on to that ball. It's centre field. We're just over the Bulls' 10-meter mark. And McGrath has the ball in possession for Leinster. What a tight affair here at the RDS Arena. Packed to full capacity, 18,500 people. And perhaps one could say just about all of them supporting the home side. So the Bulls fighting against odds here. Trailed by 1 on the scoreboard and under pressure here on defence as Leinster work their way from first phase into the 22 of the Bulls. Getting some traction on the attacking play now, Leinster. The Bulls looking to make a nuisance of themselves. The referee says illegal entry at the ruck. And it looks like he's pinging Marcel Coetzee. Not coming from behind the last man's feet, and Leinster not opting for the 3. They want to put some big pressure on this Bulls team. They've put it into touch. They're 5 meters out on this left-hand touchline now. More importantly, unlike the last line out, they will have the feed and the opportunity to perhaps set up their own driving maul as Kelleher looks to feed. For Leinster, they go to the middle and immediately set up a driving maul. Can the Bulls put up a sustained defence here and keep out this driving maul as the home side in blue look to rumble their way on? The referee keeping his eyes on play. Is there an opportunity here? It's try time for Leinster. The referee got stuck right into the thick of things there. And they do have their second try. We're just about on the half-hour mark. And it's this hooker, Ronan Kelleher, who comes up with the ball from all those bodies with the try. The Bulls not setting up their maul defensively sound enough. The intent was there as the Bulls looked to push them into touch, but somehow Kelleher got stuck in there, went right through the middle, and according to the referee, over the line. It's 12 points to 6 with the conversion to come. Now the Bulls have it all to do. They don't want to let this game get away from them. But 2 unanswered tries play, 2 penalties from Johan Goosen, and here's an opportunity now for the fly-off Burn to put it over and add the extra 2. It's sailing. It's just shaved the right hand upright. It's 12 to 6. The Bulls will have to restart and regather themselves here and be the next ones to score, really. You don't want to go too far behind on the scoreboard. The Bulls know that. Jake White specifically in the week mentioned that. So they have to be the next team that fires. After starting so well, one can't help but feel what sort of impact the loss of Marco van Staden will have on this Bulls team. Definitely they did not want to lose him so early on in the game, albeit a very capable replacement. Perhaps just messes with the rhythm as the Bulls get the game underway. And it's inside the 22. McGrath looks to shape from the base. And he does find touch. In fact, almost just about on halfway. Leinster being the more efficient side here in the second quarter of this game, as the Bulls have to find an answer as they look to feed this line out via Aka van der Merwe. We're on halfway. No contest from Leinster. It's a loose ball. Goosen decides to put it up with the 50-50. Is there an opportunity now? Leinster, though, come away with it. Down this left-hand touchline is James Lowe. We know he's got a boot on him. but he's put it straight into touch. Just couldn't find his compass there, trying to put the ball upfield, James Lowe. But nice work from Kane and Moody up in the air. But it's again the fullback Lama finding his support and then freeing up James Lowe down this left-hand touchline. Just unfortunately for the home side, he put it straight into touch, so the Bulls will have another opportunity now on this left-hand touchline. As they feed and win the line out successfully, it's Nokia, the Bulls, trying to wear down the Leinster defence now. They've got to put them under pressure. As Okot says, stop kicking the ball away. But it's another box kick. It's another 50-50. Curtly Orange hard on defence there inside the 22. At some point, the Bulls are going to have to play with ball in hand, especially if they're trailing in this game. And they can ill afford Leinster getting any more points. If they're realistic about winning this game, it's going to be a titanic struggle in the second half, no doubt. And we're just about 6 minutes from half-time as McGrath puts it into touch to relieve some pressure for Leinster there. The Bulls will have an opportunity at line-out time. Come on, let's see a driving more there. Billabua. They've got to inject some physicality and intent. A very structured side, this Leinster team. What cutting-edge difference can the Bulls bring as David Krill tries to take it up, but he's met sternly on defence. It's still come from Papier. Another ruck there. It's Papier to Marcel Coetzee. The Bulls going backwards now. It's up in the air from Willie Leroux this time. It's another 50-50. It's gone too far as Lama looks to break away. But he's cracked there by Devon Williams. Leinster looking for an exit now. They've taken it back into the 22. But James Lowe with a very capable boot puts it upfield. The Bulls come running back now. Surely there is an opportunity here. Huisen to Curtly Orense. He's away. Curtly Orense for the try. And that's what happens when you keep the ball in hand. You give it to that man and he puts it over the try line. The Bulls do, in fact, get the next score and they're up into double digits. But wonderful work there from Johan Huisen. You could see for a moment perhaps thinking he should put it up in the air. Took on the defence, broke away, and then what better man to have on your shoulder than Curtly Orange. So he'll finish all day. The Bulls up to 11 with the conversion to come. Nobody was going to stop him from there. And Orange goes over for the Bulls' first try. And the opportunity now with the conversion to take the lead. A real lazy attempt at a tackle, it must be said. It looks like, was it Jack Conan? But surely they're going to have a look at that. The TMO. Huisen with the opportunity. Always drifting towards that right-hand touchline. And unfortunately, the Bulls don't take the lead. But with ball in hand there, just for a moment, you saw a glimpse that the Bulls are more than capable of scoring from just about anywhere. And in fact, they're going to go up to the TMO. It's head-on-head contact. You surely got to get off this field. At least a yellow card. Yes, they've called for the TMO. We wait with bated breath to make sure that justice is served there. I called it a lazy tackle, but it was diabolical. And I think it wasn't Jack Conan, it's the scrum half McGrath, who could be in all sorts of trouble here for Leinster. And if there's no mitigating factors, one could potentially even see a red. But the TMO, the referee and his assistants are in consultation. But that is dangerous, no doubt. Was never going to affect Currie Lawrence in stopping him from scoring, and he had all the responsibility to make a tackle that was deemed legal, and that was diabolical. Glad to see Currie Lawrence is still okay. Would that mean a penalty starts from halfway for the Bulls here? What does the referee say? This is the moment of truth. Craig Evans. McGrath, in fact, the scrum half is the captain, and he's the one at fault. It's a yellow card at the very least, and Leinster will be down to 14 for the next 10 minutes. So make that 4 minutes in this first half and 6 minutes in the second half. But Leinster still hold on to a 1-point lead. It's 12 points to 11. And it was Currie Lawrence with the finishing skills. It's going to be a restart for Leinster here. The referee must have felt there were mitigating factors there. It will be interesting to see what you think. Should you see that replay again? You just want consistency in these calls. I would have called for a red. Winter Weaver says, WTF, yellow, not red, question mark, question mark. That'll be a talking point, no doubt, on this opening game of week 13. No doubt, no doubt. Leinster have to play with 14 men. Can the Bulls capitalise just before half-time, keeping themselves in the fight? And there it is. It's Marcel Coetzee all over that ball, on his feet. The referee on the spot. And now a real opportunity for the Bulls just before half-time to get themselves back into the lead, perhaps with some territory here. A set play. Force the defensive team into some pressure. Force them to make a mistake, perhaps. And maybe get an extra 3 points to take yourselves to 14. But for the moment, it's still 12 to 11. I cannot preempt it. The Bulls sticking to their structures. But some wonderful work there to free up Currie Lawrence earlier by Johan Goosen, who puts us up to the 22 now with Akka van der Merwe to feed. The Bulls now looking to take this game to Leinster, a man up as they look to free up Lawrence again. Currie Lawrence is only 5 meters out, showing some real class, staying on his feet, fighting off the defenders there. But somehow Leinster have come away with the ball with a beautiful counter-ruck, it must be said. Legally so, says the referee. And James Lowe finds a massive pressure relieving kick upfield, right beyond the 22. But a lovely bump there from Lawrence. Dangerous with ball in hand. We're yet to see Kanan Moody, of course, another World Cup winner. Strut his stuff here. They'll look to get him into the game. Surely, no doubt, more in the second half. But we're just outside the 22 here. And the Bulls feed the back of the line out. It's Papir as they come crashing in again. Gomere, who gets over the gain line. Can the Bulls find some space? It's Orense again. From Papir, Orense getting more and more into this game. Surely, all over the 9. And the Bulls will have an opportunity for those 3 points. Over eager at ruck time. It was Ronan Kelleher there. I beg your pardon, the try scorer early on for Leinster with that driving maul. That's just come all over the 9. From the side, says the referee. And Johan Goosen will have the opportunity to put the Bulls into the lead. With this penalty kick at the moment, still trailed by 11-12. Can he keep his composure as he shapes to kick? Johan Goosen never taking his eyes off the posts. Now takes one look at the ball. Shapes, it's sailing. It's sailing. It's over! And the Bulls take the lead at half-time by 14 points to 12. What a half it's been. The Bulls went to an early lead by 6-0. Leinster came back with 2 tries. The Bulls hit back with the try of their own via Currie Orense. And on the stroke of half-time, Johan Goosen with the penalty kick has put them into the lead by 14 points to 12. Get your refreshments. We'll be back in a little bit for the second half. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. In case you missed it, half-time, the Bulls up by 14 points to 12. Scoring that late penalty on the stroke of half-time via the boot of Johan Goosen, and the away side will of course have the advantage of playing with an extra man for the next 4 minutes, or 5 minutes should I say, of the second half with that yellow card after the attempted lazy, diabolical tackle on Currie Lawrence as he went over the try line and subsequently received a yellow card, the home side. But it's all to play for here in the second half. 2 quarters to go. The Bulls started off well with 2 early penalties, but it then was Leinster who came back with 2 tries of their own, one of them unconverted. The Bulls then replying with the try via Currie Lawrence, and then that penalty, I beg your pardon, to put them in the lead. As the second half is underway, Leinster from left to right get it deep. And immediately Ambrose Papier with a lazy attempt at trying to shape for a box kick has put the Bulls forwards offside, and Leinster will now have an opportunity here with the penalty, and they decide to put it into the corner. So immediately the Bulls under pressure, unfortunately, if you're a South African or Bull supporter here, not the way they would have wanted to start the second half. But they still hold on to that 2-point lead crucially now, but now have to defend their line 5 meters out. It's another driving maul from Leinster. The Bulls looking to get in amongst things legally, so says the referee. Thwarting that attack and subsequent driving maul. Alatoa in there. Jordan Lama, the fullback, in there to try and secure the ball. It's another advantage. Driven back in the maul. But the referee on the spot there saying the Bulls infringing, not rolling away. And Byrne, the fly off, will have another opportunity to put it 5 meters out on this left-hand touchline with the penalty kick, which he does so. He does find touch. Ruan Nokia there. Pinged by the referee. So the Bulls under some early pressure. Can they weather the storm? They don't want to concede so early on in the second half and break the spirits. But defensively, they have it all to do. As Justin Nell says, at halftime, the Irish pundits say it should have been a double yellow. Orense lifted his elbow. I'm not sure what they were looking at, Justin. So definitely agree with you as to how clueless they are. Orense had every right. Then the TMO was right on the spot there looking at the replays. Could argue for a red there and not a yellow, but since then players gone on. The line-out is won, but Leinster taking a few meters back here. The Bulls resolute on defence. Alatoa playing 9. Then goes into clean. Van der Flair at the base. Without their scrum off, of course. Leinster looking to come away with it down this right-hand side. The Bulls making their first-time tackles. It's going to be important. They don't want to concede here. But still in possession, the home side. As Cian Healy takes it up, the loose head prop. Lama, for the moment, looks like he's playing scrum off. The Bulls keeping their wits about them and their shape on defence. As Conan tries to hit it up, he's met by Ulrich Lowe. The Bulls putting pressure on defence here. Lovely spot tackle from Devon Williams. So they're almost driven back to the 22 now, Leinster centre field. But importantly for them, still in possession as Lama looks to break away around the fringes. The Bulls are going to have to keep their pillars to avoid any sort of sniping. Van der Fleer again. Burn the fly off. They look to get it away. Devin Williams tracking his attacking player well there. Elrich low on defence. It's a big effort from this Bulls side at the moment. Of course, Leinster, a massive effort from them as well. Down a man for the moment. James Lowe looks to come away with it. And wriggles his way through one defender. And Willie Leroux couldn't stop him. And a man down. Leinster hit first here in the second half. And go up by 17-14. Keeping the ball alive. Backing themselves on attack. And it's James Lowe down this left-hand blind side. This time around getting away from Devin Williams, and it wasn't Willie Leroux, it was Ambrose Papier who just was not in the right place to make that tackle, or an effective tackle, and force him into touch. It's James Lowe who goes over for Leinster. First blood to the home side here in the second half. 17-14 with the kick to come. This game most certainly giving us test match vibes. What's to come in July as Ireland come up against the world champions. As Byrne this time around puts it over for the extra two. Make that 19-14. Leinster a man down. Managed to score, so the Bulls, for all their work just before half-time, have been nullified here. And the Bulls will have to find an answer as Leinster go up and lead by 5 points here at the RDS Arena. The Bulls kick off deep centre field down the 22 as Jack Conan takes it out of the 22. He's brought to ground, but immediately Leinster put it upfield with the boot and now force the Bulls to play. Not contestable enough there from Johan Goosen. Gifting possession back to Leinster here as they look to break away. It's Jamison Gibson Park to Byrne. Jordan Lamo. Just brought to ground by Devin Williams, but it's all happening so fast. And Leinster are over again. Back to their full complement. And up by 24 points to 14. All of a sudden, the Bulls under immense pressure here, conceding 2 tries. In quick succession, Johan Goosen, it must be said, for all the good work he's done up to now, put a ball up in the air that wasn't really contestable, one could say. Needlessly gifting possession back to the home team. And the ball was just too quick. It's try time with the conversion to come. Leinster up to 24. Harry Byrne with the opportunity to add the extra 2 here. Which he does with distinction. It's 26-14 now. And Leinster have the bonus point try, which in effect will keep them at the top of the log even if the Bulls should win. Leinster at the moment currently on 49 points. But with a bonus point try, even a loss will take them to 50. But the Bulls nonetheless still have it all to play for here. What a stark contrast to the end of the first half. The second half, the Bulls have just been somewhat lackadaisical as Goosen takes a high ball. The Bulls look to break away here. It's Gomede trying to free up his support, but in the process feeds the ball to one of the Leinster players there. So a little bit of over-eagerness from the Bulls at the moment, as we have just about 30 minutes to play. Jamison Gibson Park, the experienced Irish, come off on the field as a replacement. Is there an opportunity here for Leinster to break away from inside the 22? Illegally over the ball, says the referee. And penalty after penalty, the Bulls are conceding here and gifting the opportunity to Leinster now to exit from their own half and set up another attacking play. Orcott mentioned it earlier on, stop kicking the ball away, especially aimlessly. I'm with you there, brother. The Bulls a little bit conservative at the moment, and they can ill afford to be, and just what they didn't want to happen has happened. They're trailing by 12 points on the scoreboard, gifting the freedom for Leinster to play at will now. And in possession on halfway are Leinster with that line-out kick from the penalty. As we see the introduction of Harold Foster replacing Devon Williams. Will there be an injection of magic there? The Bulls win the line-out. Aka van der Merwe to Foster. He's trying to pin Leinster back inside their own half. Has that kick gone too far? Yes, it has. So mistake after mistake. He's just come on the field. Would you believe it? The Bulls making an unforced error there, which they can ill afford to do. It's going to be a scrum down on the 10-meter mark, with Leinster to feed via Jamison Gibson Park. Foster says, Bulls, poor defense showing. Now you'll need to make those tackles, else this team will punish you all day. Very well said there. Perhaps one of the most consistent teams of all time in the URC. And with the likes of Jacques Nina over there as well, we know defensively they will be sound. The Bulls are going to have to come up with some magic. We haven't seen Kainan Moody stretch his legs. They're going to have to find a way to get him into the game. But what an early loss that was for the Bulls as well in the first half, losing Marco van Staden to injury. As Gibson Park looks to feed the Bulls. Keeping a solid scrum there. The referee saying to 9, he must use it. Leinster in possession. And away with it they come here. Leinster now all over the Bulls here. Hot on the attack. But just at the last moment there, it looks like it was a knock-on. But you can see the confidence on the attack now for this home side. The Bulls somewhat being blown away defensively. They're not getting time to get into shape. Just knocked on there at the last moment from the replacement scrum half, Jamison Gibson Park. But the Bulls deep inside their own danger zone. 10 meters in from this left-hand touchline. About 10 meters from their own try line. We see the bench already of Leinster having a massive impact. The replacement prop scoring a try. Jamison Gibson Park having his hands involved all over the place. The Bulls are going to have to find an answer here, but first they've got to exit. It's Ambrose Papier with the feed. It's a solid scrum. He's got to use it now from the back. And the Bulls concede another penalty at scrum time. And all of a sudden, the team at the top of the table showing their class here against this valiant Bulls outfit. But for the moment, in the second half, the Bulls have been just about nowhere. Just under 15 minutes in the second half. The kick goes into touch on this left-hand touchline. They're 5 meters out. The Bulls not dictating things on their own terms. Leinster with the driving maul, looking to break away. They're 3 meters out. Will we see a pick and go? The Bulls all over that ball. This time around, showing the intent there. Rua Nokia and Mpilo Gomede. Counter-rucking, legally so, says the referee. And there's some respite for this Bulls side. Johan Goosen will have the opportunity to put it into touch and gain some valuable meters upfield. Rion says if Leinster hits again, the Bulls would have to do some damage control. We hope it doesn't come to that point. But the Irish supporters, wherever they are in the world, the home crowd as well, feeling chuffed with themselves at the moment, the way their team has come out in the second half. The Bulls have just had no answer, but there for the moment, counter-rucking with some intent, but they're going to have to keep the ball in hand. Perhaps use this pack of forwards to get over the advantage line and put this team under pressure, because for the moment, they most certainly feeling the heat here, down by 14 points to 26. Goosen puts it into touch, gets a couple of 25, 30 meters upfield. But we're between the 10-meter mark and the 22 of the Bulls. As we see Grobler on the field, the Bulls looking to come away with the maul. It's brought to ground illegally, so the Bulls playing under advantage. Is there an opportunity for Curtly Orenser with the cross kick here? With the free play, he just can't do anything with it, but they will come back. Illegal mauling there from Leinster. And the Bulls will have an opportunity now to perhaps set up an attacking platform with the line-out set piece. Goosen looking to get us into touch on this left-hand touchline. We're up to the 10-meter mark. This time it's Leinster territory. And the Bulls are going to have to come away with something here. They're going to have to put this team under pressure. Will we see another driving maul? So far, the replacements of Leinster have made the difference. Will we see the Bulls be able to do the same? But the line-out is loose. Grobler's overthrown it. Leinster with an opportunity to clear. Philly LaRue not able to get that ball away, but somehow Orange has got it. Here's an opportunity. Philly LaRue. Can he find support? Surely that's a high tackle. A mishap in terms of the kick from Philly LaRue with the charge down, but the Bulls under a free play here. There is an opportunity out wide on this left-hand side with the kick pass. but nothing will come of it. In the blink of an eye, it was Currie Orense who cleaned up that hot mess after the charge down on Willie le Roux's kick, found support, and the Bulls were away. So showing some intent now with ball in hand, the Bulls, albeit a little bit fortuitously there, but it was a high tackle on Currie Orense that has gifted the Bulls an opportunity to put it into touch. 5 meters out from Leinster's try line on this right-hand touch line. Still trailed by 14 points to 26. But we're going to have to see some magic. And we can't concede any more points. If you're a Bulls fan or a South African fan, Grobler again overthrown. 2 out of 2 missed lineouts. And Willie le Roux has to come tracking back under immense pressure. Releases the kick, but Leinster now in possession. Into the half of the Bulls they go via Jordan Lama. And defensively there, the Bulls have not kept their shape. Easily getting over the advantage line and almost up to the 22 here, Gibson Park. Looking to free up his attacking player on this blind side, but still in possession, the home team. One can't help but feel that was a wasted line out. 5 meters out from the opposition's try line. Willie le Roux with the chip over the top. Who wants it? Here's an opportunity. Ambrose Papier's away. The Bulls in possession now up to the 22. Can they make something of it? Papier to Steenkamp. Creative play there from Willie le Roux from inside his 22. The Bulls are going to have to play and hold on and secure possession at ruck time. And the referee gifts a penalty to the Bulls there, offside from Leinster. This time around it's the replacement, Jason Jenkins. But from defence into attack, from that creative little chip over the top by Willie le Roux, gathered by David Kriel. Found support in Harold Foster, and then it was Papier who took it up to the 22. The Bulls kept the phases alive, and Leinster transgress offside at ruck time. As we look towards a deja vu moment here for the Bulls, putting the ball deep into touch in the danger zone on this right-hand touch line. They're about 8 meters out. Grobler, keep it simple. There it is. It's secured by the Bulls as they look to rumble it forward. Forward it goes. Gomede goes in there. The Bulls now looking to keep traction on this driving maul. Grobler keeping it secure at the back. The referee says use it once. Looking to come away with it. Currie Orense on his shoulder. The Bulls 4 meters out now. In possession. Keeping it tight. Ambrose Papier to Ulrich Lowe. This time around, Leinster driving the Bulls back. Steenkamp. Surely the Leinster player never released the tackle player, but the referee says penalty to Leinster. The Bulls there, unfortunately, not able to capitalize. You kind of feel there He never showed daylight, but according to the referee, he was on his feet and had every right to play the ball. And ball security is a problem now, especially in the danger zone. The Bulls not capitalizing. Turning any sort of pressure into points there. The Bulls unable to do so. Trail by 14 points to 26 as we hit the last quarter of this game. Ringing the changes now, Jake White. Throwing caution to the wind, perhaps. But it's Leinster with that penalty kick. And line-out play that come away with it. It was Dan Sheehan who stole that ball on his feet, according to the referee. They set up the line-out. And now all of a sudden the Bulls deep inside their own 22. Currie under the high ball has dropped it and lost it forward. The Bulls feeling the pressure here as we see the introduction of Matanzima for Gerard Steenekamp. Currie wanted to call for the mark, wasn't able to secure the ball first. But one could ask, where is Kainan Moody? Leinster up by 26-14 and with a very, very enticing attacking position here. Just inside the Bulls 22, 15 meters in from this right-hand touchline. The second half, the Bulls have just not quite showed up. They've showed heart. But one must also give a testament to the home side. Under all sorts of pressure, a man down. Leading into half-time, trailing on the scoreboard, but coming out in that second half and stamping their authority on this game. A little bit over 15 minutes to play here at the RDS Arena. And the Bulls under pressure defensively as Conan looks to break away from the back. He makes a good 10 meters. The Bulls defensively now. Just not quite up for it. Grobler misses his man. And Dan Sheehan goes over quite comfortably. It's not all said and done, but that could play a major part in the result of this game as Leinster go in for another try. It's try number 5. It's 31-14. They played down this right-hand blind side, but Conan just came away too easily from the back of that scrum. They set it up down the blind side. Gibson Park found his replacement prop forward. It's an all-forwards try there as Sheehan, the replacement hooker, goes in. Showed some legs to get beyond Grobler. And in that right-hand corner he goes. The conversion to come. But ominous signs here for the Bulls. At the RDS Arena, the home side putting a stranglehold on this game. With the conversion right up against this right-hand touchline. It's sailing, and it's over. Leinster go up to 33. And the Bulls are 3 scores down. Where will the answers come from? There's just so many questions. especially as the second half has gone by. The Bulls just not able to keep up with the tempo. Goosen is off the field, and Chris Smith has replaced him. But one has to say the bench of Leinster really doing a number on the Bulls here as James Lowe looks to clear the restart upfield. Smith to Willie Leroux. Goes up into the air. Who wants it? It's Gumede. To Nokia, the Bulls come away with the 50-50 ball. They've got to play now. Leroux. Leinster managed to get the kick pass there, forcing the Bulls back right into their 22. It's Chris Smith who has to clean up. He does so though, but Leinster, massive territorial game. The home side cheerful as ever now after trailing at half time by 14 points to 12. Leinster have gone up 21 unanswered points. 3 converted tries to nothing. The Bulls have absolutely no answer up to this point. Caelan Doris coming on the field for Josh van der Fleer. Experience for experience. So this team, the home side, will know how to close off a game there, but somehow the Bulls have won the line out against the throw. Zach Berger on the field for Ambrose Papier. Jake White cleaning out the bench here. But I come back to it, that loss of Marco van Staden and how immense that is in the bigger scheme of things. But the Bulls will have to settle here and show some pride to fight their way at least back into a space where they can get a bonus point out of this game. As things stand, the way it's going, they're not anywhere near it for the moment. Leinster come away with it. Pinning the Bulls back again. It's James Lowe. Kainan Moody clears up there, but kicks it straight into a Leinster player who comes charging back to the 22 here. Gibson Park at the base for Leinster. It's Jack Conan who puts on the afterburners. Nobody's going to stop him. That will wrap things up surely now as we approach the 70-minute mark. The last line of defence was Willie Leroux. But Leinster, with their 4th try in the second half, their 6th try overall, are up to 38 points to 14. In possession, feeding Jack Conan, and you weren't going to stop him at full tilt. Lovely running line from the number 8. Then he's over. It's try time. The home side running rampant here at the RDS Arena. Nothing to smile about if you're a Bulls or South African rugby supporter. Not the way we wanted to get this Friday or this weekend underway here in week 13 of the URC. Imposters asking what's the purpose of those up and unders? Well, sometimes they want to call it a 50-50 ball. Number one, it's contestable. You're putting the opposition under pressure, and if you get the ball back, perhaps their defense is not in the shape it would like to be. But then again, because it's 50-50, if you don't get it back, you concede possession. So perhaps the Bulls doing a little bit too much of that this evening. But Jack Conan running hard, running straight. and scoring the try. And that puts Leinster well clear now at 40 points to 14. A real disappointing performance here from the Bulls in the second half. After leading at half-time, it was Leinster who have gone for unanswered tries to kill off any hopes here for the Bulls, as we have just about 9 minutes left to play here. Billy LaRue under the high ball, as the Bulls look to come away with possession, work their way up to the 22 of Leinster here. The Bulls on attack. Not perhaps having the shape they'd like there as David Creel is cracked to ground. It's Matanzima who loses it forward. And the pressure build-up is starting to show. It's full colours here for the Bulls. Blown away in the second half. Took his eyes off for the ball, off the ball, should I say, for the moment. But that's been the order of things here in the second half. This Leinster side showing their international class in closing this game off. It's 40 points to 14, folks. If you went away at halftime, you saw it at 14-12 to the Bulls. You'd almost not believe your eyes here, but it's true. The Bulls trail by 14 points to 40. 28 unanswered points. Massive blow for the Bulls here as they try and hold on to that second spot. Of course, they have the likes of Glasgow Warriors chasing them. The Stormers have got a good home run in. The Bulls, of course, do also have a home run in of their own in the URC as they come home after this game. But no doubt the Bulls would have liked to have gotten ahead, should I say. And beaten the team at the top of the table, but away with it comes Currie. Orange, it's a loose ball. It's going to be a try for the Bulls. The ball was loose for a moment there. And it's Currie Orange who adds some respectability to the score, but that's try number 3. They're still going to have to chase a bonus point. Leinster in possession, but the interception from Currie Orange on this right-hand blind side as he gets a double. No cause for celebrations really in the bigger scheme of things, but the Bulls are going to have to keep playing, as I mentioned, to get that bonus point. Gijs de Wet says this is embarrassing. Has Jake White not been watching Leinster play? I think they would have done their studies during the week leading up to this game and perhaps even before this week. But no doubt it's the golfing class from the bench of Leinster, I would say, my brother, that has perhaps been the difference here as the conversion goes over. The TMO getting involved here for some reason. After the try has been scored and converted, it's not confirmed yet. They might want to go look at something that preceded that try. So a little bit of drama here as we culminate towards the end of this game. For all worth, it looked like Currie Orange wanted to hit the ball, kick the ball ahead, should I say. But I think he missed everything. The Leinster players demonstrating with the referee that it was a deliberate kick. But I don't think he caught anything there. With the player laying on the ground, it all happened so fast. This preceded the try, of course. But we wait for the TMO to give an instruction in consultation with the referee. A little bit of a strange one. Was there any contact made from Currie Lawrence? Firstly and secondly, will the try stand with just over 5 minutes to play? The referee having a discussion with the captains. No try, says the referee. The try is going to be cancelled out. Would you believe it? So the referee are judging there that Currie Lawrence did in fact put his boot on the player's back as he was on the ground. But then subsequently, wouldn't he get a yellow card? It's just a penalty here, but it remains 40-14. The interception try of Currie Lawrence has been cancelled out. And that's a massive blow for the Bulls that would have put them in contention for a bonus point territory place. But now they have it all to do. Leinster in possession. Just on halfway centre field, it's Gibson Park at the base. As they look to break away down this right-hand side, it's Russell. It's another try. And that will be that. Leinster go in, would you believe it? It's Turner who goes over the replacement backline player. Make that 45 points to 14 with the kick to come. It's Liam Turner who goes over after Russell broke away down this left-hand touchline. But just like that, the order of things have changed. Currie Lawrence's try. Jan Goosen's conversion cancelled out by the referee and TMO, who deemed it to be foul play. And just like that, Leinster hit back with the try. And this one will stand. And potentially it could be 35 unanswered points in this second half. It's 45 with the kick to come. As Deity says, it's all a bit easy now. Just too easy. The second half, the Bulls totally blown out of the water and beyond into the stratosphere here. 45, sailing, and over. That's 47 points to 14. We have a little over 3 minutes to play. But a real sedentary second half performance from the Bulls. Static at best. Just not able to deal with the players coming off the bench. And Leinster, on the other hand, have been nothing short of majestic, pure class. That's why they're at the top of the table. And a home final in Loftus now, all but looking just about out of reach. Come URC playoff time, the Bulls are going to have to recollect. Remember, they are coming home for their home run. Leinster still have to travel to South Africa to play the Lions and the Stormers. Can the Stormers and the Lions beat this Leinster team For what it's worth, you'd find it hard to find any team, especially with the second half performance, that could beat this Leinster team here. Filled with Irish internationals, the Bulls come away with possession now. Is there an opportunity? Over halfway over the 10-metre mark come the Bulls. Needlessly again grubbering the ball away. And Leinster via Lama look to come away with it. In possession, Lama regathers his kick. It's all happening so fast here. James Lowe on the left wing puts it ahead and pins the Bulls back 10 metres from their own try line. It's hoofed ahead from the Bulls. And Kane and Moody will clear the ball upfield. Find some space, but the chase not really on there. On defence, the Bulls have looked rather average here in the second half. But they do get a penalty, which will all but be a consolation here with just over a minute to play. The ball still in at the ruck. And a player coming around the fringes to play the ball illegally so the Bulls will have a penalty late on here, but Jake White himself getting up off his seat. No doubt he'll be seething with this one. This is not the result he was looking for. He was looking for a tighter contest than this. But 35 unanswered points in the second half is just about inexcusable. Very disappointing from a South African perspective. We thought it was going to be the precursor for Ireland versus South Africa come July. But no doubt the Irish will never be able to do what they're doing here to the Bulls. Leinster. Will the score remain at 47-14? The Bulls will take nothing. Leinster will take the full 5 in front of their home crowd. Can Leinster on the road come up short against the Stormers and the Lions, of course? We're into the final minute. As Barry McKilligott says, Bulls fans with the quiet emoji, no doubt. Perhaps a sense of overconfidence from the Bulls, not taking into account all the Irish internationals, but no doubt you've got to aspire, you've got to believe. The result of 2 years ago would perhaps have been in the back of the mind, but they wouldn't have been able to use that. That was a close game in itself. But this one, no close game whatsoever. The Bulls blown away here in the second half. Leinster, the home side, just holding on to possession. The line out is lost. Time about just up on the clock. It's Gibson Park. That will be that, folks. It's all over here at the RDS Arena. And Leinster triumphant by 47 points to 14. Hang on a minute. Time not up on the clock. Leinster kicking it out too soon. They looked up at the scoreboard. They put it out. They thought the game was over. They put it over the dead ball line. And it's going to be a scrum down to the Bulls. Will you believe it? There's drama here. It's not over yet. One final act of play. One final act of consolation. perhaps for the Bulls as they have a 5-meter scrum. Slight miscalculation there from Ross Byrne as he put it out over the dead ball line. But the Bulls will have the feed to the scrum via Zach Berger. Leon Bower says, whatever, Leinster should come try at Loftus. Would perhaps be a very different result. But the Bulls were always going to need to be at their very best to contest for this game. And that second half, they've been rather average, really. As the Bulls come away with it, yeah, they're 5 meters out, still in possession. We're well over normal time. Is there one final opportunity? No, there will not be, because Dan Sheehan's all over that ball. Legally, the Bulls not securing possession. This time, the tap, the kick into touch. The game is now officially over here. 47 points to 14. Leinster triumphant at home here at the RDS Arena. As the Bulls look to come home, they'll have some questions. Jake White, no doubt, very disappointed. Our South African fans are disappointed, but nonetheless, it's been an absolute pleasure to take you through it here, albeit the result not in our favour, South Africans. From myself, Ruth, here at Forever Rugby and Forever Sports. Until next time, bye for now.